The guiding notes that goes with this video is dealing with the volume of a cylinder. Now, you've all learned in the past that a cylinder is a 3D or three-dimensional shape that looks like a can. Could be a soup can, a drink can, anything that has a round bottom and top and is straight up and down on the sides. Okay? Now, the formula for the volume of a cylinder is V equals pi r squared h. You're going to use 3.14 for pi, just like you did when you were doing area and circumference of a circle. Okay? Now, we've got a lot of variables over here, so let's make sure we know what they stand for. V is your volume. H is the height. That's how tall your cylinder is. The radius and the diameter are similar. Remember, your radius goes from the middle of your circle to the edge. So from the center of the circle to the edge is the radius. Now, the diameter is the measurement that goes across the circle from side to side, and it goes right through the center. Okay, so we know that our radius is half the length of the diameter. Okay, now you'll have to be careful when we work these problems. Sometimes they'll give you radius and sometimes they'll give you diameter. Okay, just a couple of other facts that you might need as you're working your assignment. Going back to 6th and 7th grade, the area of a circle, the formula is A equals pi r squared. If you need the circumference of a circle, there are actually two versions. There's C equals 2 pi r if your problem is telling you the radius. If your problem tells you the diameter, then you would use C equals pi times the diameter. Okay, and remember that when you're working these problems, circumference is the same thing as the perimeter. Okay, now we've got 4 examples to work together. The first 2 examples are just showing you a cylinder with the measurements in it. Okay, so if I look at example 1, it's kind of hard to see it, but right here they're telling me that the radius right here is 7 centimeters. It's also telling me that this can or this cylinder is going to be 21 centimeters. I'm sorry, not 21, 12 centimeters tall. Okay, so I'm going to find those 2 measurements. Now, to find the volume, all I'm going to do is write my formula. V equals pi r squared h. Now, once we write our formula, we're just going to substitute our numbers into it. So we know that pi, we're going to use 3.14. Now we're going to have r squared, that's our radius. Up here we're told our radius is 7. So I'm going to write 7 squared times my height, and I'm told my height is 12. Now, once you get to this spot, you're going to grab a calculator. Any calculator will do this, okay? Even the one on your phone, if you need to, use it. And I'm just going to type this in. So I'm going to clear all this stuff off that I had. 3.14 times 7. And you know your square button. Let's slide this up for just a second. Your square key is diagonal to the 7. Okay, so it's right here. You see a little emblem that says x squared. Okay, so I'm back up here. And let's see, 7 squared times 12. Now, I'll just double check and make sure I put it in my calculator correctly, and I did. And I come up with 1,846.32. So I'm just going to come right here and I'm going to type in 1,846.32. Now that's the volume, but I need a unit of measurement. And since my original unit of measurement is centimeters, volume unit is cubic units. So I'm going to write centimeters cubed. Okay. Now you learned about those cubic units in 7th grade when you were doing volume of prisms. So it's still the same. Anytime you're looking for volume, it's always cubic units. Okay. Now, example 2 gives me a picture of a cylinder yet again. But this time it's different just because it's giving me the diameter right here. See my diameter? Now, I'm told in this problem that my diameter is 10, but I can't use that. I got to have the radius for my volume. So we're just going to take the radius, R equals, and what we're going to do is we're going to take that 10 and divide it by 2, or say that the radius is 5. Because remember, your radius is always half of your diameter. Now I'm ready for my formula. It's going to be the same 3 steps that I had right here, just different numbers. Okay, so I've got volume equal pi r squared h. So it's going to be 3.14 times 5 squared times, what was my height? It's right here, and my height is 21. Right there. Now, again, all I'm going to do is grab my calculator. It's smaller. Okay, so I'm going to grab my calculator right here, and we're going to type this in. So I'm putting in 3.14 times 5 squared times 21. And, oops, I put 4.14 instead of 3.14. So let me fix that real fast. So make sure I typed it in right now. 3.14 times 5 squared plus 21. Press enter, and I get 1648.5. Okay, so I'm going to write that down right here. 1,648.5. Now, again, what is my unit of measurement? Okay, so if I look up here, it's saying feet. So that's going to be feet cubed. Now notice I had the exact same 3 steps of work, just different numbers. And that's all the work you need to show. Just write your formula, show where you substitute your numbers in, and then tell me what you get when you put it into your calculator. Okay? Now, the next 2 examples are different because they are word problems. Okay? So they're not going to give you a picture, they're going to give you a description. Okay, so if I look at example 3, it says a cylindrical corn silo is 100 feet tall and has a radius of 20 feet. What is the silo's volume? Now, I don't know if you know what a silo is. It's those big round metal buildings you see on farms. You've seen them in movies or TV shows. And actually, if you run around Rockingham County, out in the county in the farm areas, you'll see them out on the farms. Okay? Now, but the fact that it says it's cylindrical means that I have a cylinder. So it's like a big old round storage building on your property, okay? It says that it's 100 feet tall. It also says it has a radius of 20, okay? So now I have my numbers. So all I need to do is switch over and let's put this into the formula. So let's write our formula. V equals pi r squared h. So V equals 3.14 times, now my radius is 20 squared times 100, okay? Now, again, I'm just going to grab my calculator and I'm going to type that in. So let's see, 3.14 times 20 squared times 100. Oh, got a big number there. So looks like we got 125,600. It's hard to see it on my calculator. But what I got was 125,600. So 125,600 cubic feet. So I need to write that. So I'm going to put FT for feet and put a little 3 exponent. You learn that's cubic feet. And there is my final answer. Okay. Now, let's go to number 4. Oh, number 4 is much smaller, but it's still a cylinder. Number 4 says, a soup can has a diameter of 7 centimeters and a height of 10 centimeters. How much soup is in the can? Okay, now it didn't say what's the volume, but because it said how much is in each can, how much is in it, and you know volume is the amount of space that it takes up inside. So when I see how much is in it, that means I'm looking for volume, okay? So let's think about this. Now this one I'm going to work without drawing a picture, okay? Because I'm told up here, my diameter of 7, that means D equals 7, but we know we don't need the diameter, we need the radius. So the radius is going to be 7 divided by 2, or 3.5. Now you can keep it as a fraction if you want to, keep it 7 halves or 3 1/2, but 3.5 is just easier to put in a calculator. So that's why I switch it to decimal. Okay, we're also told right here that we have a height of 10. So I have my 2 numbers, this one and this one, to put into my formula. So I'm going to write V equals pi r squared h. So V equals 3.14 times 3.5 squared times 10. Now, I'm going to put that into my calculator. 3.14 times 3.5 squared times 10. Okay, going to double check and make sure I typed it in correctly, and I did. And I'm going to press enter. And I get 384.65. And now, what is my unit of measurement up here? It's centimeters. So this is going to be cubic centimeters or centimeters cubed. Now, I've just worked 4 examples with volume of a cylinder, 2 with the picture and 2 word problems, 2 with radius and 2 with diameter. So use this to go as a guideline to help you with your assignment.